What's going on, guys? So yesterday, or maybe the day before, depending on when I finished editing this, I posted a video basically talking about the strongest passives in SAO Fractured Daydream. And if you don't know, you do have to get characters to level 30 before they're able to actually unlock those passives. Leveling characters can take a decently long time, but there are ways to speed it up and really optimize the amount of experience you're gaining. So today in this video, I'm going to be going over the fastest ways to level your characters in SAO Fractured Daydream for both your player rank and the actual characters themselves, because they are different and not a lot of people know that. So with all that being said, my name is Brax and let's get into it. So you might be asking yourself, Brax, why do I actually care about leveling the characters fast? Or why do I care about leveling my player rank fast? Well, there's actually a couple things that this does. The first thing is when you level your characters, you get a ton of bonuses, whether that's cosmetics, base stat increases, and passive skills. The character's passive skills can be a massive buff for your characters, but also just increasing their base stats via leveling will help you dish out more damage and be more survivable in your boss raids and co-op stuff. Plus, of course, you want cosmetics, right? But the other reason you want to level up, and this one's more for your player rank, is you unlock more and more content by doing this. And even more importantly than that, the higher your player rank is, the higher level gear you can get from drops, which increases your total damage output and survivability even further. So now the question is, which do you care about more, player rank or your character ranks? Well, in my opinion, player rank is always going to be a little bit more important because this is the long game. This is the long haul. You want to get your player rank as high as possible so that way you can get the best gear possible, because ultimately gear is going to be the biggest upgrades to your characters. However, getting different character passives can make playing certain characters more enjoyable. For example, if you happen to get like a drop that has a chance to freeze enemies and you have Yu-Gi-Oh's passive as well, then it's just a higher chance to freeze enemies. Or if you have Quietus for the 30 crit rate, you can freeze a bunch of enemies and get 30 crit rate on them. It's like Blizzard Strayer from Genshin Impact, right? Stuff like that can make characters more fun. But unfortunately, there are different methods that will level player rank or character rank faster. My advice is just to grind out the player rank. Your characters will get that XP over time anyways. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I actually do it? Like, how do I level up as fast as possible? Well, there's a few different methods I'm going to go over with you guys in this video, and they all have to do with these sort of different game modes. So you have your story mode, additional story, Tower of Determination, free roam, co-op quest, and boss raid. Of all of these, the fastest experience that I found is doing boss raids. Now, the reason that you want to do boss raids over something like co-op quests or story, well, there's a couple reasons, but the main reason is that boss raids do take a little bit of time, but they end up being the best amount of experience for that amount of time. But there are a couple different boss raids you can do. Well, there's actually 3, but most of you guys aren't going to be rank 85 yet, at least as of the time of this video coming out. If you're rank 85 plus and you're looking up a leveling guide, I feel like you've probably already figured out the best way to level. Which one of these guys do you want to do? Well, it actually depends. Are you prioritizing characters or are you prioritizing your player rank? Technically speaking, if you just want to level your characters the fastest, doing the lowest level one is going to be the fastest method, because getting rid of the lower level bosses is a little bit easier than the mid-tier boss. Now, there's a couple reasons for that, but honestly, I think the main reason is just that SBC Trummel is a lot harder to hit than Skull Reaper, because Trummel will just decide not to let you engage for a little bit of time. These boss raids can take anywhere from 5 to 12 minutes, but most of the time they're going to sit between 7 to 10 minutes is usually how much I've seen. I've seen really good kills on Skull Reaper go for only about 5 minutes, and I've seen Trummel go as long as 12. So it really depends on the group. If you have a squad of 4 people, it is going to make leveling so much faster, just because you guys can sort of blast through these. The important thing to know is that between these two, for character XP, they actually give a very similar amount. I've noticed myself getting just slightly more XP for Trummel, but Skull Reaper and Trummel both give your characters about 1k XP and then plus whatever bonuses that you get. And if you're not playing a ranged character on SCC Trummel, you're probably not getting as many bonuses too. So honestly, if you're just going for character leveling, I would go Skull Reaper spam, because right now there are only these 2 options and Trummel is a pain in the butt. But if you're looking for the best player rank leveling, which is what I argue is the more important one, you're actually going to want to spam the highest level raid that you can do. You're just going to want to do these over and over. And honestly, you don't really have a ton to lose, because there's so many cosmetics for these that you're going to want to unlock eventually, and it's going to take some time, right? So you could just think of it as farming out some cosmetic items and some gear for your characters. I would just do the highest tier one that you can for boss raids, because the difference in player XP that it gives you between Skull Reaper and Trummel is really significant. With Skull Reaper, I got over 1k XP, and for Trummel, I got over 3k XP. And the difference in time was so minuscule that the player rank increase was so much more worth it with Trommel. So just do the highest level boss raid that you can. And one last thing, the benefit of going online for any of this sort of stuff is that you actually, for every S rank that you get on the ranking screen towards the end of the mission, you actually get bonus XP. And so basically doing all of the challenges, trying to get the highest damage, trying to get the most revives, stuff like that is all going to be super helpful for leveling up your characters faster because that's bonus XP. So it may be 1,000 character XP per run, but it can be a lot more than that if you get those challenges done. And so your player rank is going to be going up no matter what, but your character XP can increase in these online modes. Oh, and we've actually got an aid request here. So what about aid requests? Well, I found out I was doing a bunch of these, and if there's some sort of XP bonus, it doesn't actually tell you if there is. So just while I had that there, it just made me think about this for a second. I want to let you guys know the benefit of joining another one of these quests is that it gets to be shorter. Sometimes you'll join in the middle of someone's session sometimes, which means that you'll end up spending less time actually in the instance, but getting the same amount of XP as you would normally. So I do think it's always worth doing these if they pop up, unless it's like a really high level co-op quest that you know has taken a long time for you specifically. There's also some ways to cheese co-op quests. There's too many co-op quests, so I don't want to put them all in this video. But with co-op quests, they just tend to take a little bit longer for about the same XP as a boss raid. I do believe the player XP is a little bit higher, but in my experience, it's really a toss-up on whether or not that player rank XP is actually going to be worth it. For example, I had a Jade Maze just about probably a couple hours ago. When I was running the Jade Maze, it took 28 minutes to clear this, and I got like not even double the XP that I would have gotten from a boss raid. So I could have done 3 boss raids in that time, and maybe 4 if I had just a killer group. So this was really like the co-op quest that I did, the Jade Maze, it was not worth the XP if you're just trying to level as fast as possible. Now the benefits of Jade Maze is like, okay, there's all these cosmetics that you might want. So, you know, you kind of just do whatever you want with that. If you have more fun doing the co-op quests too, you can do them. It's not a huge deal. It's just the fastest way is going to be spamming boss raids. But that is something that I wanted to make very clear in this video. Guys, the most important thing for you guys if you're leveling is to have fun, because it is a grind. You are going to be at it for a long time if you're trying to max out all the characters. You know, as far as characters go, if you want to get characters to level 30, it's going to take you a while. But I was able to grind out 3 characters in one day and still have time for my other daily activities. So if you have a group of 4 players and you want to just spam co-op all day to try to level, that is going to be faster if you have reliable people that you can trust. It's just faster because the computers don't do as much damage, and that's how it's going to be. If you guys are interested in that, by the way, I am opening up an SAO portion in my Discord server. If you guys want to join and link up with some other players, make sure to go click the link down below in the description for my Discord, join up, and then click on the role select. Just make sure you grab the SAO role. And you can use that chat if you want to play with people or just chat with people about things. But anyways, bit of a tangent there. TLDR, boss raids are going to be the best for your player XP and your character XP. If you want to level characters faster, technically it's faster to do the lower tier one, because you'll be able to clear it faster, because you can not only hit the boss more, but also if you get synced down, you're always going to have max level 30 equipment, which is a lot more achievable for more players. But that's not the only way to level. I was on a plane and I didn't have internet connection. And so I was playing through the story a bit, and I decided that when I'm playing through the story, I'm going to go ahead and try to find the fastest story leveling, because I want to know, how can you do it offline? If you don't want to play with other players, there are methods for this. I'm going to go ahead and move myself down to the bottom left corner here real quick. There are methods if you want to level up super fast doing only the story, because you just don't really want to play with other people, or maybe you're tired of the boss raids. Well, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, the story mode is going to feel way more grindy, because you're going to be doing the same mission a ton of times, and it's going to be very fast, but you can technically do it. I do believe it's slower than the boss raids too, which is unfortunate, but I found a method that is fairly fast. You go over to enemies on the prairie, set your story difficulty to easy mode, just so that way the boss dies faster, and go ahead and start up this mission. Now, something you may not know is that all of the story missions give 200 experience for your character and a little bit for your player rank as well. The player rank side is going to feel abysmally slow doing this, but the character XP isn't too bad. And the reason is because this quest goes by so so quickly. So go ahead and pick a character that you want to level up, and then try to pick 3 characters that have flying. Remember that story quests and for co-op quests, only the character that you pick is actually getting the XP, right? So just pick 3 characters that can fly, and then the character that you're actually leveling, and just load it up as fast as you can. As soon as you get in here, what you're gonna do is switch to another character that can fly, and you're gonna fly over to the northwest part of the map. The reason is because this quest actually just has you do a bunch of challenges like defeating enemies, running around, and hunting a specific boss enemy. But this boss enemy, you can literally just roll up and fight him. You don't have to do any of the other quest objectives, and they don't give you bonus XP either. So your goal is literally to just go over here to this corner as fast as possible, which is nice to have the flying characters. And sometimes they'll fall a little bit behind. If you want to be extra safe, you can look up in the top right over at your map, and you can see when your friendlies teleport to you before you switch characters to fly. That's just like a little min-maxy thing. But you can technically make it in like 3 flights-ish. Sometimes it can take a little bit more. But like these guys are coming up behind me. And now back to Argo, back to Yuki. And we're gonna go over to the northwest side. And once you get over here, you just have Furious Fortress, and you basically just have to beat this guy up. Once this guy's beaten up, you win. That's it. So we're just gonna go over here. We're just gonna fight him real quick. And you can play the character that you're leveling, or if you're just leveling them for the passive and you don't actually like the character, you can also just play characters that you do enjoy. Like if you enjoy playing Yuki, and let's say you're leveling Xenon and you don't like how guns play in this game, you can literally just switch over to the other characters. It's not going to affect your XP at all. So your goal is just to kill this guy as fast as possible. And it dies super fast. So there you go. That's basically one run of this mission, and it's going to get you a quick 200 XP. I think my fastest run of this, probably close to a week ago, was about, let's say, I think it was 135. It was a minute 35 seconds plus the 20 seconds from this end screen. So like 155. Plus loading screen cutscene that you can skip. So it's a little over 2 minutes. I'd say like 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And you can optimize it and make it faster the higher rank you are. But realistically, like probably best case scenario, you're getting 6,000 character XP per hour, which is like 6 levels per hour. So it's pretty bad as far as XP is concerned. If you're just trying to level characters as fast as possible, boss raids are going to be a little bit better, guys. They're going to be better. You're going to feel it a lot more. And the other benefit with the boss raids too is that you have all those extra challenges that you can complete. So with all that being said, I hope you guys found this helpful. And if not, I'm sorry. I feel like this game doesn't have as many cheese methods as some other games that we may be used to for level grinding. But the most important tip I have for you is just to try to enjoy the game. So if you're not enjoying the grind of just spamming the same mission over and over, don't spam the same mission over and over. Go do some co-op quests, go do free roam. I would not recommend free roam for XP specifically, just because it honestly is such a low amount of XP for the amount of time that you put into free roam. But if it's something you enjoy and you want to break, like, don't feel afraid to stop, because you don't need to hit max level right away. This is just for people that are looking for the best way to level up. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to join the Discord if you want to find a community to play with. It is very small right now. We're starting it up. So if you don't see a lot of people in there, hopefully more people will just keep joining, and it'll be great. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Subscribe for more SAO videos.